Hello, Mike Colson here from Medicare Insurance Counselors. We're going to spend a little bit of time and discuss what I like to call the pitfalls of Medicare Part D prescription coverage. Anyone that knows me and has done business with me knows that I have a lot of issues with Part D. I think they could have done this substantially easier and made it much more user-friendly. They chose not to do it that way. They put lots and lots of things in favor of the insurance companies at your expense. And there's just other issues with the way Part D works. So I've made a list of what I call the pitfalls, things that you need to consider, things that you need to look out for, things that you need to be aware of. The list is too long for me to have memorized, so I've got them written down here in my little cheat sheet. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one has to do with how you may choose your Part D prescription plan initially. There's only one way to do it, and it is on the Medicare website, what is called the Medicare Plan Finder, which is located on Medicare's website. So in other words, shopping for your plan in the right place. There's a number of places. I addressed this in a previous video. There's a number of places that people choose to shop for a plan. There's only one right place to do it if your goal is to save money, and that's on Medicare's website. So not being willing to do it there, and also not doing it annually. This is not a one-time thing that you would do. If you don't do it annually, and this is also discussed in that other video, if you don't do it annually, I'm going to suggest to you there's about a 50-50 chance you're going to get hosed, financially I mean. Another pitfall is not being willing to use generics. This one will cost you big time. There's just no way around it. They will either not cover the brand drug at all, or if they do cover it, it's going to be covered at a much higher copay, and it's going to very likely have drug restrictions on it. So the bottom line is, if you're going to stubbornly use brand drugs, and there may be, in some cases, there are good reasons that you have to do this, but the point is it's going to cost you big time. Another pitfall is not signing up for the extra help that's available to people. This would apply to very low income people. This is actually addressed also on a different video, but for the sake of the pitfalls, we'll just say that if you have very limited income, you do need to consider, and assets, you do need to consider eligibility for what is called extra help. It also goes by the name of the low income subsidy. Now, separate from that and having nothing to do with the extra help, 20 states have what is called a State Pharmaceutical Assistance Program, SPAP for short, and SPAP. And if you happen to live in one of the states that has one of these, this is a helper program. It gives additional help and assistance for those that already have a Part D prescription plan. Still another pitfall with Part D is not discussing alternative meds if you do use a brand medication or multiple brand medications with your doctor. There may be other ways the doctor can treat a particular condition or conditions that you may have. And my point is, don't just assume that because the doctor originally prescribed such and such a brand med, that that's the only one that'll work or the only one that will help you in your case. It never hurts to talk to the doctor. And I strongly encourage you to do that if you do indeed have any brand drugs. Another one that gets a lot of people is not being willing to change pharmacies. I've learned over the years that people get just like people get attached to their doctors, they also get attached to their pharmacist. They like a particular pharmacy. This one also can end up costing you a lot of your healthcare dollars. I also would suggest to you that you consider using mail order. Many people I talk to will poo-poo that idea. They just don't want to get their meds in the mail. That's fine, I respect that. I'm simply going to tell you and point out to you that that will very likely add to your overall cost. Still another pitfall is not paying attention to the drug restrictions that any of your meds may have. The two big ones that get people are prior authorization, also referred to as PA, that's the acronym that's used, and the second one is step therapy, and the acronym there is ST for step therapy. So if you have one of these drug restrictions on any of your meds, you need to know that ahead of time, because it's going to alter your ability to get the plans based on the co-pays you may think you may be paying. With those drug restrictions, a restriction is just that, it's a restriction, and it may alter your ability to get the drug with the corresponding copay if you don't deal with it ahead of time. And one way, just about the only way to know that, is using the Medicare Plan Finder, still another reason to use the Medicare website. Still another item is what is called NF, non-formulary drugs. Very simply put, that just means drugs that are not covered with the plan that you may be choosing. This goes back to using the Medicare Plan Finder. If you're using the Plan Finder, you'll know if a drug or any of your meds is NF or non-formulary. Another one is not remembering that this is a big one, not remembering that the estimated annual drug cost includes all the factors. It includes everything. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this one because this one is important. When you look at that number on Medicare's Plan Finder, the point I want to make is that that is a total number. It includes the premium for your plan for the entire year. It includes the deductible if your plan has one. It includes the co-pays, again, for the whole year, co-insurance for the whole year, and finally, it includes any non-NF drugs or non-formulary drugs. So when I say that it's a total number, I mean it's a total number. A mistake that people make is the next one down or the third one down, which has a higher estimated drug cost, but it might have a higher deductible than the first one. And the person says, why would I choose the one with the higher deductible when I can choose the one with the lower deductible? That person just kicked themselves in their behind. That number includes everything, including the deductible. So don't make the mistake of choosing one that doesn't have a deductible or may have a cheaper premium when the one at the top of the list is going to be an all-inclusive number. And the next one, the last one I'm going to mention, is not paying attention to the plan ratings. Medicare assigns a rating, a 5-star system to each of the plans. The general recommendation is to choose a plan that has at least a 3 out of 5-star rating. Or to say it another way, you don't want to choose a plan with a 1 or a 2-star rating. So that's it for the pitfalls on Part D. I urge you to take heed and pay attention to each of these items. I hope this video has been helpful to you. All of these items are explained in more detail in my ebook, Imagine Understanding Your Medicare Insurance Options. If you already have the book, you'll find it in Chapter 3. If you don't have a copy of the book and you'd like to get a copy, it is available on the Amazon Kindle bookstore, and it retails for $4.99. Again, the name of the book is Imagine Understanding Your Medicare Insurance Options. Thank you for joining us.